From secret alien comets to NASA sabotaging private spaceflight companies, this is Top 5 Recent Conspiracy Theories. The comet targeted by the Rosetta mission was actually an alien spacecraft. In November of 2014, the European Space Agency made history when their Rosetta mission landed a probe on Comet 67P. The focus of this mission was to identify and analyse the composition of 67P. However, according to an alleged email written by an insider, the mission was actually a cover-up to disguise 67P's alien nature. The email was allegedly written by a European Space Agency employee. The whistleblowing employee stated that a space agency would not suddenly spend billions of dollars and take part in a 12-year mission to simply land on a random comet. The email also said that NASA had detected radio bursts from an unknown source in space some 20 years ago. NASA had later pinpointed the origin to Comet 67P. The conspiracy was later fueled when the European Space Agency confirmed that 67P was emitting a strange signal. The agency described the signal as a mysterious song. 67P is therefore said to contain an alien spacecraft possibly attempting to make first contact. The Ebola outbreak was a bioweapon deliberately released by the US government. The Ebola outbreak began in early 2014 and quickly spread across West Africa, with limited local cases occurring in Europe and the US. Soon after the outbreak, conspiracy theorists were quick to propose that the US government had released the virus as a bioweapon. One of the first theories alleged that the government was attempting to depopulate the planet. Another theory was that the government had a patent to the vaccine and was attempting to make a fortune from the only vaccine available. What is worth mentioning about this theory is just how seriously it was taken by a number of individuals and groups. Professor Boyle of the University of Illinois, who is an influential figure in biowarfare, stated the following: "This isn't normal Ebola at all. I believe it's been genetically modified." Boyle also claims that the several US-run laboratories in Africa are creating bioweapons and not vaccines. The Virgin Galactic spaceship was sabotaged by NASA. The theory proposes that NASA caused the VSS Enterprise crash in November of 2014. The VSS was planned to be the first of 5 commercial suborbital spacecraft planned by Virgin Galactic. Now, why would NASA do this? Well, NASA's funding has been reduced significantly over the past few years. This has obviously had a detrimental effect on their ability to advance in spaceflight, an ability which NASA held historically. Allegedly, Liberal-backed administrations are behind these budgetary cuts. This enables Liberal-backed private companies who are well-funded and led by tech giants to take advantage of NASA's absence. This privatization of space travel is good for you and me, as it does not use our tax monies. It also increases competition between companies and thus spurs on innovation. However, this is not good for the government. If private companies develop technology which exceeds that of the government, then it loses its ability to control space travel. So those in conspiracy circles believe that the government may be sabotaging some of the privatized operations because they don't want to see them succeed and lose control over space travel. The US government caused the polar vortex. In December 2013, central and eastern US was hit with extreme cold weather lasting until April 2014. The harsh weather affected over 200 million people and cost an estimated $5 billion in damages and caused 21 fatalities. Theorists claim that HAARP was used to manipulate the weather and cause the cold wave. HAARP is a US military defense project that is alleged to be a device of weather control through radio waves. The radio waves have a significant impact on the ionosphere currents and are thus able to change and control the weather. Some believe that the purpose was to make the public believe in climate change and therefore make it easier for the government to enact environment-friendly laws and policies. Flight MH370 and MH17 were the same plane. On the 8th of March 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 went missing over the Indian Ocean. Just 4 months later, Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 was shot over the Ukraine-Russia border and crashed in Ukraine. This leaves us with two almost identical planes that did not reach their final destination. One goes missing without a trace and the other is shot down, all within the space of 4 months. This led to the theory that the crash of MH17 was actually the missing MH370, which was not lost over the Indian Ocean, but instead hijacked and taken to the island of Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia is a military-owned island within flying distance of MH370's route. The plane was then flown and shot over Ukraine as part of a false flag operation. The theory was supported with claims that the crashed plane had a different configuration of windows than MH17. The debris found in Ukraine was allegedly missing a window which MH370 was also missing. There were also reports that locals who were first on the scene of the crash described the bodies as rotten corpses, drained of blood, and therefore were dead a long time before the crash. Over a year after the disappearance of MH370, debris of a Boeing 777 washed up on an island in the Indian Ocean. The debris was linked to the lost MH370. However, conspiracy theories were quick to claim that it was merely planted there by those behind the plot. So that's it for this list. What I did find while doing the research for this list was that, I wasn't sure how seriously to take each theory. Usually I'm pretty dismissive of these conspiracy theories, but when I was reading about these theories, I thought some had strong arguments and others didn't. But the problem with conspiracies is that once you cross that line, there's just no going back. Like with the same plane theory, they just found debris of a Boeing 777, which pretty much confirms it went down somewhere over the Indian Ocean for whatever reason. But then conspiracy theories can just say, oh, it was planted there to stop it getting out. Also, if the theory was true, it would mean that they would have to sneak a plane into the airport in Amsterdam to fly it over the Ukraine. And I just don't see how they could have done that. But then, on the other hand, I think, the government has done some pretty crazy stuff. And that's just the stuff we know about. So, could you imagine the things that the government has done that we don't know about? So, I kind of look at conspiracy theories as thinking outside the box in a way. I wouldn't dismiss a conspiracy theory just because it's a conspiracy. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Cheers.